I would say personally, it's the hardest competition in drone racing of the whole year. The golden heat of that competition is the highest pressure moment of any drone racing competition like ever.
This is Christopher Madsen, but most know him as Chris M FPV. And Chris is the newest pilot to join the DRL. But how did he do it? How did he go from an amateur flying in his backyard to a professional flying on the biggest stage in the world? Gran Turismo is about to come out, and it follows a kid who plays the video game Gran Turismo enough that he actually becomes a professional race car driver one day. I promise this video is about drones, just give me a second. What you may not know is that this movie is actually based off of a true story. Jan Mardenborough won a competition in 2011 called PlayStation's GT Academy.
This is GT Academy, where North America's top Gran Turismo gamers battle head-to-head to become a Nismo athlete and a professional racing driver for Nissan.
This was really just a marketing ploy by Nissan and Sony to get more people to buy their game. But after winning this silly little simulator competition, Jan literally went on to podium at the 24 Hours of Le Mans from a video game. Just like Jan, Chris became this professional drone racer through a video game. A game that you can buy on Steam for $9.99 right now. Let me explain. The DRL Sim is also a simulator that, as the name implies, simulates drone racing. The team at the DRL has put years of development into making this as lifelike as possible to real racing. That way, instead of spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars on your first drone to get into the sport, you can spend $10 and learn without the risk of breaking anything. Seriously, you can learn to fly a drone and become a professional pilot for just $10 and a decent internet connection. And once you learn the basics, you can enter into the DRL Sim tryouts. I know, nobody loves paperwork, but the rules, terms, and conditions are important. First one on the list here, you have to read all the rules, terms, and conditions. Told you they were important. Now, I won't be reading everything, but I will put a link to this document down in the description below. However, these are the rules for 2023, and they are subject to change every year. So if you want to find the rules for whatever year you're trying to compete in the tryouts, just Google search DRL Simulator Tryouts, followed by the year that you're competing. For a full week, there's the circuit qualifier stage. Thousands of participants race 5 tracks in sequence, trying to get the fastest cumulative time across all the 5 tracks, with hopes of earning a spot in the esports tournament series. You can make as many attempts as you want, but all 5 tracks have to be completed in order. When the week is over, the top 64 pilots make it into the esports tournament series. They compete in more and more rounds until eventually they have 12 pilots who compete in a traditional drone race. If you're not sure how drone races work, I made another video on that, and I'll put a card at the end of the video for you to check out. But throughout the entire race, all a pilot's goal is to get to the golden heat. And once they're in the golden heat, the winner takes all. And in this case, the prize is a contract with the DRL in the next season of the league. DRL contracts aren't just a big deal because you get to be on a TV show for a little bit or compete in this sport for a season. Pilots who are on the DRL are some of the most respected pilots in the entire world. They get more recognition and better contracts in the future, so the DRL is a huge launching point for a lot of people's drone careers, but it also just proves how talented you are at flying a drone. In this tournament, there's hundreds of races, thousands of heats, and one DRL contract. In the past, some amazing pilots have won the DRL tryouts, including Fluxy, Amari, Halo Walker, and Maverick. And this year's 2023 tryouts winner is Chris M. I got a chance to sit down with Chris M and talk to him about his experience going through the tryouts, as well as what this means for his career and his strategy going into this season of the DRL.
So you are the 2023 DRL tryouts champion.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Somehow, thanks. I'm blown away too. Obviously the competition is I would say personally it's the hardest competition in drone racing of the whole year, because it's a competition where everything but P1 is a loss. Like nothing else but P1 matters. Everything comes down to the golden heat. So I would say the golden heat of that competition is the highest pressure moment of any drone racing competition like ever.
So tell me about your just like history in drone racing, how you got into drones and that whole story.
So I think I have like the most common like way into drone racing was just like I saw some guy who's still doing drone racing. Actually, I met him when I was at the US. He has like a YouTube channel called RC Addict, where he like tests drones and like racing drones and stuff like that. And it's like pretty chill. And he had like this small ass micro, like it was literally like this big. And he was like just line of sighting it, like just jumping it like this. I was like, whoa, how's this thing going so fast? Like I need to look more into this. And then yeah, bought myself a drone and then never really looked back. I saw drone racing and I was like, I need to be the best at this at any cost. I want to do anything to be the best at this. And that was in, I would say, late 2019. It's a couple years, but still, like some of the guys that we are competing against has literally been doing this for like a decade almost.
Right.
So I got into it late, but I just need to put in that more work than to like catch up to them.
How much of your racing is in the simulator versus IRL?
I would say right now it's like 60 to 70% in the sim,
Got it.
and then the rest in real life. But usually it's 90% IRL and then the rest in the sim. Because I would say that I'm mostly a IRL racer. I I do enjoy the sim, but I much rather fly like IRL. Like there's so much more stuff going on when you're flying IRL, and that's all of that stuff is what I'm mostly enjoying.
So when it comes to DRL, you've been a fan for a long time, I assume.
Oh
Who
yeah.
are some of your all-time, like, give me your Mount Rushmore of drone racers?
I'm a little bit biased because some of them are my really like my best friends. So I would say like for sure like Pavel is my best friend and like he is my favorite pilot. I know that he's putting in so much work and I think next year he's gonna hit hard. I'm obviously like a huge fan of Minchan. He's also my good friend, but also like him coming in his rookie season and like putting some absolute heat down, being consistent all the way through the season is like I out of this world. Like how good he is. But I would say like Alex whole persona and how does his racing is just like it's so good. Like it's either make or break with him. So either he
Yeah.
puts some absolute heat down or he is gonna wreck hard. I know he's not flying the last season, but I would also say Evan. I think he's the only pilot who's undefeated in the World Championship, and he is undefeated 2 years in a row.
I mean, he's on a different level. He's
Yeah, he's on a
unbelievable.
different level. Actually, all of the pilots I'm really admire them, but like
Yeah.
those are the ones that I have like a special thing for
That's
sure.
awesome. Well, I'm really excited for you in the season next year. Is there anything specifically about being in DRL that you're excited for?
DRL is on a whole nother level. Like I know you've been to a DRL race and have
Mm-hmm.
watched it, and like the whole like show of a DRL race, like there's so much more stuff going on than just the race. Like with the huge setup that they're doing with the sound and the lights and all the people working there, the spectators, everything like that. I just think it adds a whole new level of pressure and like stuff to take in. So I think it's like yeah, it's gonna be huge and I'm like that's the stuff that I'm most excited about, like especially with the spectators. I love something like that.
The pressure that it puts on and just the electric atmosphere
Oh yeah.
is it either puts too much pressure on that you choke or it puts the pressure on and you get a chance to rise up to the occasion.
Oh yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
very much looking forward to that. Also, because I got the contract now, I can do way more drone racing because I don't have to work my normal
Hmm.
job. So I can become so much better now because I have so much more time to do it, which is really great too. It's like it's my passion, it's what I love to do. So being able to do
Yeah,
it more, it's just yeah, really
that's
I cannot
awesome.
put words into it.
What is it take, in your opinion, to become like to get into the DRL? What kind of discipline? Like, what is your schedule like?
Oh, you wouldn't know. For me personally, and obviously talked with a lot of the other pilots, but you pretty much have to dedicate your whole life to drone racing, to get into DRL. I would say usually my like I after I won the tryouts, I would need to take a little bit of a chill pill because I've been on the grind for years. So I actually have taken like a small break, I would say a week, pretty much a week without flying drones. But before that, I was going to work from 6:30 in the morning to 3 o'clock. Then I came home. I picked up my bag with my quads and stuff, went to the field, practiced, and then came home at 11, went to bed, woke up the next day, went to work, and then just repeated like that the whole week. And then on the weekends, I go to field by, I would say like 9 in the morning and came home by 10 in the evening, or like it's a.m. to 10, like, yeah,
Dude.
yeah, really, really just grinding all the time.
And that's like 7 days a week, basically.
7 days a week, practice every day. And
That's nuts.
when the weather is bad, that's when you're doing the sim. So every time you, for some reason, because like if you're doing something with your family, you obviously can't go to field, but you can maybe squeeze in like a couple hours of sim. So you would do the simulator instead. But you have to just keep going, keep going, keep going. When you get tired, like, and you don't want to do it anymore, you still need to keep going.
Yeah.
Like that's the mindset you need to have. You need to be just disciplined, because sometimes you just get tired of it, and then you cannot do it if you get tired of it. So you need to find a way to find some joy with it. And sometimes the best way to find some joy with it is just to have your eyes at the prize, which is a contract. The most important for me is just to enjoy it while it lasts, right? Like,
Absolutely.
it's once in a lifetime opportunity to be in something like this, and I'm gonna enjoy every second of it.
That's so good to hear, dude.
Chris, you are the man. Holy cow, just learned so much, and I'm like so pumped to see you in this season of the DRL. Anything you want to say to anybody, and where can they reach out or follow you on socials?
If you want to follow me on social media, my Instagram is where I'm mostly active. I'm both doing DRL stuff there this season, and also like amateur 5-inch stuff, and just regular stories and shit talking and stuff like that. So, and you can find me on Chris M FPV on Instagram. So yeah, it's been great talking to you, and I can't wait to see this episode.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. All right, appreciate it, man.
Yep, see ya.